So today I'll be unboxing a hooks and needles subscription box. So let's have a look at what's inside. So 2 boxes arrived. One is actually, I believe one is for crocheting and one is for knitting. So as you can see, the box is printed and very luxurious. Very good quality, I mean. And then it's sealed with a sticker. For this unboxing, I'll briefly go through the contents of the box, but in greater detail for each component, I will talk about it later. So when first open the box, there is actually a crocheting booklet inside. And you can see all the other parts of the box, which is very exciting. Let's look at the booklet first. So a quick flip through to see there are a few projects inside that we can explore later. And then for the yarn, which is of course the most exciting part of the box, it comes with a hooks and needles logo, as well as there are some other components like the pretty scissors. Then there is the crochet hook that is provided. They have all the components that you need to finish the projects inside the booklet, as you will see later. And then this small little wooden, before I forget, the stuffing is included as well. This small little wooden cylinder which has the darning needles inside. Isn't the box beautiful? I think it's beautiful. And that's a rough overview of what's inside the box. So for each component later, I will talk about them in greater detail. I thought I'd just show what's inside the knitting box as well, even though I don't knit. But looking through the contents of the box makes me very excited to try and pick up knitting as well. The yarns included here are very pretty as well, but I actually said I prefer the speckled yarn that was included inside the crochet box. But it varies every month, so you might get different types of yarn each time. So that's a sum up of what's included inside the knitting box as well. There you have a brief unboxing of both the crochet and as well as the knitting boxes from Hooks and Needles. I will move on to each component subsequently. Okay, after the unboxing, now let's have a look in detail what are all the different components inside the Hooks and Needles box. So this is how the box looks like, and when you open up the inside, all the contents are over here. So let's go through all of them individually. It's so exciting. So basically, we will start off with the crochet booklet, because inside they do talk about all the other components that are included inside the box. So let me just do a quick rundown. So here, what's inside your hooks and needles box? So it talks about the wool that is provided, as well as the crochet hook, the sewing needles, the scissors, the fiber fill, as well as the patterns that are included inside, and the total value is this amount. Later on you see that the quality of the yarn that's provided is really good. Of course, they also have all the other patterns inside that is making use of the yarn. So later on I'll show you what are some of the examples of the patterns. So this is the booklet. So oh yes, before I forget, they also mentioned here, which is very important, the details about the wool, which is very exciting. So it's merino wool, and it's actually from a Portuguese artisan supplier. So come, I'll show you the yarn. The colors are so beautiful. Look at it. See? Now this is the part where it says, yes, it's a Portugal yarn. It's about 50 grams and it's medium size or worsted. So there are 2 colors provided. Later on you see all the projects that are included inside as well. So there are 2 balls of blue yarn as well as 1 grey one. Now so they have some examples of the kind of patterns you can make inside, so which is really interesting. Of course, the interesting things about subscription boxes is you have no idea what will be provided inside. So they included 3 types. Basically there is beginner, intermediate, as well as advanced. So there's a little, of course they have the patterns inside as well as the step-by-step instructions. So I'll just briefly show you the different. Okay, so this is the beginner one, and then there is the Lovey, which has sort of like an amigurumi at the top, which is what the stuffing is meant for. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, here. So this is the intermediate one, and then finally the more complicated one, which is a basket right at the end. So this is the advanced one. Okay, so for obviously all the step-by-step instructions and the patterns inside, which is really great, and the quality of the book is also really good. The printing is also really good. So if you don't want to print it out, you have it over here. If you want a digital copy, you can get a quick scan here and get the digital copy as well. Okay, so that's for the wool. So it also comes with a crochet hook. As you can see here, this one is just the right size for worsted yarn. So let me just take it out. Okay, so I would say that it's a ergonomic hook. It's this size and it's meant specifically for this yarn. So later on when I'll test it out, we shall see whether it's painful or it's fairly ergonomic. Okay, so it also comes with stuffing. So I think the stuffing is meant for the amigurumi rabbit head. Okay, so so let's open the stuffing and feel. Okay, so this is the scissors that they provided inside. This is actually a free gift that's included inside the box. So let's see. It's really beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'll be using this to cut open. Let's just use this to cut open the stuffing and see how it is. Okay. Okay, so I think it's cotton stuffing, which is pretty good. This is going to be what will be stuck inside the lovey, especially if you want to make it for your babies or your children. Okay, so this is the stuffing, the scissors, the crochet hook, and look at this darning needle container. Is really beautiful. Look at that. And inside, this is really helpful. All the different needle sizes, the darning needle sizes that you need. I tend to use slightly larger ones, but the smaller ones are actually easier to make use of for smaller weight yarn when you're making amigurumi. So this is really great. Even if you don't use these needles inside, you can always use these to contain your existing needles. It's really convenient and really beautiful. Okay, so that's that. So these are all the components that you can see of the box. Of course, every month will be a slightly different one, especially with new patterns and new variation. The most exciting part is new yarns. So next time I'll talk about how it is like to crochet with the yarn. So this is the yarn that is taken from the hooks and needles box, and you can see I already completed a few rounds. Let me just show you how it is like to use both the hook as well as the yarn inside. So next round, okay, the stitch markers of course not included. Okay, so I think my tension is a little bit too tight. Okay. Okay, so okay. Not too bad. See, the wool feels really nice and soft. And the crochet hook is pretty good too. So this is not my own pattern design. This is the one that is provided inside the book that I showed you earlier. So I'm trying to make the amigurumi levy. So since that is generally what I like to make, and I thought I'd just try out one of the patterns as well as use their stuffing and see how it goes. Okay, so now I'm adding the stuffing that is provided before I end off this piece. They're actually quite generous with the amount of stuffing given, because this is the only project that has stuffing that is required. The other two do not need the stuffing. So I'll leave some for the arms later, but there's definitely more than enough. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the excess yarn, and then I'm going to start to decrease and end off. 6. Okay, I love that there are all these different speckles of color in the yarn. So okay, this looks fairly spherical. So I'm gonna leave a trail to sew off so you can see the darning needle. Okay, I'm going to use that beautiful scissors to cut off the stray yarn. Very nice and sharp. So okay, so if you will see, actually all the darning needle sizes provided are actually all about the same size. I do tend to have a few, some are bigger, some are smaller, so just to note that these are actually all the same size. Let me see whether they're sharp. Yep, they're also fairly sharp. If you don't need it to be so sharp, you can just keep this part on. Okay, so try and it's a thicker yarn, so okay, that's fine. So I mean, I think most likely we'll have to remove it. Most of my darning needles are quite blunt though. This looks like it can be used for sewing and probably embroidery as well. So I'm gonna close up the ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the last one. Okay, and then I'll close it up and pull it through. There we go. And then I'll cut off the excess yarn with the scissors provided. Okay, that's great. So I will try and finish up the rest and then show you the blue yarn later. Here I'm moving on to making the levy using this dark blue yarn. As you can see, I have completed part of it. It's very easy to work with and very soft and smooth, as you can see here. I will show the completed project right at the end. So this is how the final project is supposed to look like, and I'll show you how it looks like after I completed it. Ta-da! Not sure you can see the whole piece, but this is the amigurumi component. There's a bit of sewing involved here at the ears and the arms, and I love the lovey part. See, this is how it looks like once it's opened up completely. You can see the yarn is beautiful. See all the speckled colors, and then this is how it looks like as a whole piece. So this is how it looks like on the inside. It was pretty easy to follow along, and I managed to get it even though this is not usually the kind of projects that I make. So, and then as for the amount of yarn I had left over, this was the one that is left of the two balls. And I still have one full one left for maybe the other projects, or maybe for my own other projects. So yep, so that is that. So to see a full breakdown of the review for this hooks and needles subscription box, go and check out the link in the description to see my blog post all about it. And thanks for watching.